It was a warm summer evening, July 17, 1996. Excitement filled the air at John F. Kennedy International Airport. Passengers bustled through the terminal, eager to embark on their journeys. Among them were 230 souls destined for Paris aboard TWA Flight 800. Families anticipated vacations, students looked forward to adventures, and love filled the air as couples embarked on romantic getaways. Little did they know, their dreams were about to collide with an unimaginable tragedy. The Boeing 747, a symbol of human ingenuity and progress, stood gleaming under the setting sun. Its massive wings promised to carry its passengers to new heights, both literally and figuratively. The flight crew, a team of seasoned professionals, prepared for the transatlantic journey. They were the guardians of the skies, entrusted with the precious lives on board. The atmosphere buzzed with anticipation, a symphony of hopes and dreams ready to take flight. As the engines roared to life, the journey of TWA Flight 800 began, unaware of the fate that awaited them. At 8:19 p.m., the engines roared to life, their powerful hum a reassuring melody. Flight 800 began to taxi down the runway, the lights of New York City twinkling like diamonds in the distance. As the plane lifted gracefully into the night sky, a collective sigh of wonder and excitement rippled through the cabin. The passengers settled into their seats, their spirits soaring with the aircraft. Conversations flowed easily as new acquaintances were made and old friendships rekindled. Laughter filled the cabin as children gazed out the windows, their eyes wide with wonder. The flight attendants, the epitome of grace and professionalism, tended to the passengers' needs, ensuring their comfort and safety. The world outside the windows faded into a distant tapestry of lights as the plane ascended into the vast expanse of the night sky. As Flight 800 cruised over the Atlantic Ocean, the initial excitement gave way to a sense of tranquility. Passengers lost themselves in books, movies, or simply gazed out at the starlit sky. The rhythmic hum of the engines provided a soothing soundtrack to the journey. But unbeknownst to those on board, a silent danger lurked within the belly of the aircraft. In the aircraft's center fuel tank, a volatile mix of fuel and air had begun to heat up. This seemingly insignificant detail, a ticking time bomb hidden from view, would soon shatter the serenity of the flight. The pilots, unaware of the danger lurking beneath them, continued their routine checks, their voices calm and reassuring over the intercom. The flight attendants moved gracefully through the cabin, their smiles a beacon of warmth and normalcy. But fate, it seemed, had other plans, casting shadows over the Atlantic. At 8:31 p.m., just 12 minutes after takeoff, the unthinkable happened. A massive explosion ripped through the aircraft, instantly transforming it from a symbol of hope to a scene of unimaginable horror. Witnesses on the ground watched in disbelief as a fireball erupted in the night sky, the fiery remnants of Flight 800 raining down into the dark waters below. The explosion, heard for miles around, shattered the peaceful summer night. On board, chaos and terror reigned as the once familiar cabin disintegrated around the passengers. Metal twisted, lights flickered, and the screams of terrified passengers filled the air. The force of the blast sent the aircraft plummeting towards the ocean, the hopes and dreams of 230 souls extinguished in an instant. Section 5. Searching for answers amidst the wreckage. As news of the disaster spread, a sense of disbelief and horror gripped the nation. Families clung to fading hopes as they anxiously awaited news of their loved ones. The Coast Guard launched a massive search and rescue operation, their boats combing the debris field for any signs of life. But as the hours turned into days, the grim reality began to set in. The recovery effort was both heartbreaking and Herculean. Divers worked tirelessly in the unforgiving waters, retrieving the remains of the victims and pieces of the shattered aircraft. The wreckage, scattered over miles of ocean, held the key to understanding the cause of the tragedy. As investigators began the daunting task of piecing together the puzzle, The world waited with bated breath for answers. Section 6. A nation in mourning. The nation mourned the loss of 230 innocent lives. Flags flew at half-mast, and candlelight vigils illuminated the night as people struggled to comprehend the enormity of the tragedy. The families of the victims, their worlds shattered, grappled with unimaginable grief and loss. The small town of Montoursville, Pennsylvania, which lost 21 students and 5 chaperones from their high school French club, became a symbol of the nation's collective grief. The tragedy touched every corner of the country, reminding us of the fragility of life and the indiscriminate nature of tragedy. The nation mourned together, united in grief and loss. Section 7. The Long Road to Understanding. The investigation into the crash of TWA Flight 800 was one of the most complex and exhaustive in aviation history. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, led the investigation, working tirelessly to determine what caused the tragedy. Experts from various fields were brought in to analyze every piece of evidence, from the wreckage itself to eyewitness accounts and radar data. The investigation was a painstaking process of elimination, with every possible scenario meticulously examined. Theories ranged from a terrorist attack to a missile strike, but as the investigation progressed, the focus shifted to the aircraft itself. The investigators, determined to uncover the truth, left no stone unturned. Section 8. The Mechanical Culprit. After 4 years of painstaking investigation, the NTSB concluded that the most likely cause of the explosion was a design flaw in the Boeing 747 center fuel tank. The investigation revealed that a spark from a short circuit had ignited the flammable fuel-air mixture in the tank, causing the catastrophic explosion. The investigation found that the fuel tank's design, which lacked sufficient safety features to prevent an explosion, was a contributing factor to the tragedy. The NTSB's findings sent shockwaves through the aviation industry, leading to significant changes in aircraft design and safety regulations. The tragedy of TWA Flight 800 served as a stark reminder of the importance of constant vigilance and the need for continuous improvement in aviation safety. Section 9. Enhancing Safety in the Skies. The legacy of TWA Flight 800 lives on in the countless safety improvements that followed the tragedy. The NTSB issued a series of recommendations to prevent similar accidents from happening again. These recommendations led to significant changes in aircraft design, maintenance procedures, and pilot training. One of the most significant changes was the introduction of nitrogen inerting systems, which reduced the risk of fuel tank explosions by replacing flammable fuel vapor with inert nitrogen gas. Other improvements included enhanced fuel tank wiring, improved fuel tank maintenance procedures, and increased pilot training on fuel tank safety. The tragedy of TWA Flight 800, while heartbreaking, led to a safer skies for all. Section 10. Remembering the victims, honoring their legacy. In the years since the tragedy, memorials have been erected to honor the victims of TWA Flight 800. These memorials serve as poignant reminders of the human cost of the tragedy and the importance of continuing to strive for improvements in aviation safety. The families of the victims have shown incredible resilience and strength in the face of unimaginable loss. Many have dedicated their lives to advocating for improved aviation safety, ensuring that their loved ones' legacies live on in the safer skies we enjoy today. Section 11. A timeless lesson in vigilance. The haunting tragedy of TWA Flight 800 serves as a timeless reminder of the importance of vigilance and the need for continuous improvement in aviation safety. The lessons learned from this tragedy have undoubtedly saved countless lives and continue to shape the way we approach aviation safety today. As we remember the victims of TWA Flight 800, let us honor their memory by remaining committed to the pursuit of ever safer skies. Let us never forget the lessons learned from this tragedy and continue to strive for a future where such tragedies are a thing of the past.